He wrote this book called Arundel. He's from like Connecticut.
Oh, you
Maine.
mentioned Arundel on the Will Matty Read This, and we made fun of you
See?
because it's
There you
actually
guys go.
frozen. You've done it again.
No, it's the same guy though. But this is his name is.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the Buddy System Pod. I'm Chris.
I'm Matty.
As usual,
Same.
It's the two of us. We got no guest today. It's
Buddy
just a
System,
fucking.
dude.
That was a good one. That was
a great
that was a
vibe.
sparkling high five. I
Felt
like
good.
that.
I just felt that in my other hand actually. Went all the way through me like
It just traveled through both humeruses.
the electricity
Down-
of friendship.
The other arm bones that I forgot the name of.
The humeruses are just the funny bones, right?
Oh, that's your whole like arm fibia. This
Really?
whole bone right here is the humerus.
Mm.
And then I don't know what these two are right here, but
I thought the humerus was
Those are
just
two
that
of
little spot on the funny bone. That's why they call it. Hey.
no.
That's why they call it the funny bone. Where are we at? Arm bone's connected to
It's
the,
like the
bean bone.
the ulna and something else, right? Ulna and radius humerus. Some doctor's been screaming at their fucking.
Yeah.
I love how wrong we are. We probably drive right.
No, you
people
were
that are-
right. I was just like, again, okay.
Yeah.
So what is the exact little funny bone boy that you smash and it goes crazy?
No one even knows. Yeah, that is so fun. I do fucking hate hitting that thing because you feel like such a you're like. Ooh.
It really does. And like, I got it the other day in like such a perfect way where it's like, you know, when you get it on a corner somewhere where like, it is truly like where when like Luke Skywalker invades like the perfect crevices of a Death Star. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, there was no bone protecting what just hit that.
I
Like,
think it's an exposed nerve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just
And it,
like, you go and it just zings you right down to the tippies of your toes.
It's like
your
a-
arm toes.
it's not unlike a big electrocution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of a cool feel. Sometimes I hit it and I'm like, I'm alive.
Right. Sometimes it's like,
alive.
whoa. And then sometimes it's like, I hate this actually.
Yep. Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a little like electric buzz shock that doesn't go crazy, and sometimes you want to throw your arm into the sea.
Dude, do you wake up with your arms asleep?
Sometimes, depending on how I sleep. I mean, I'll be awake with my arms asleep sometimes, and I'm like, what am I doing? Weird now.
It's like just half your body shuts down, or are
When
you,
I
like, lying?
well, I mean, one time, and not one time, but like this was going on for a while. When I was doing like sales for some company right after college for Groupon, where I
Yeah.
like. We've probably talked about this. I lasted maybe a year, and I was like, "Oh,
I'm
I
out.
could just quit, or I could just like slowly
Get fired.
Yeah, exactly.
Quiet
Mundo,
quit,
dude.
as they call it. Yeah.
But I would. One of the reasons I got there because like at first I was like, "Who gives a shit about this job?" Because I was doing stand up. It was like a pay the rent money. But I ended up getting so stressed and allowed the job to like really get to me that like I kept getting these knots, usually just on the left side of my back. That like I still get a lot, but these ones would be so gnarly and pervasive that my arm would go numb, and I would have to be at my desk chair and like rub out a knot until there was like feeling back in my arm because it was like cutting off circulation.
Well, that sounds like a medical fucking issue if I've ever heard
I'm
one.
riddled with them. I have to have knee surgery, by the way. Did I tell you that?
No.
That I found that out while you were gone.
You have to get surgery of the knee?
Of the knee.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So it turns out that, remember I was like, I think I might have done something.
Yeah.
I ended up getting the MRI, and it's an acute tear of the meniscus.
Fuck. So that sucks, brother.
Or maybe was it acute or
What, are you
something? It
gonna
might
do
have
that
been a different
after
word.
the summer is over?
I'm wondering that. He said like people are usually the way he's okay, so it's not like a full surgery stitch. He was like, we'll go in on this side and this side. And I talked to Joelle about this because she had some kind of like laser thing done.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it was lasers. But he's like, we'll just go in on this side and this side. And I'm like, so like laparoscopically? He's like, so laparoscopic is only in through your stomach. And I was like, so for the knee, that would be hard to do, huh? And he goes, even I'm not that good. I'm like, this guy rules. But when you're at the doctor's office and you're trying to not just be like, I'm a big dumb baby.
Yeah.
And also with my ADHD, I do like the fucking active listening thing, which annoys everybody, including
You
myself.
pretend that you know what they're talking about?
No, I like finish people's sentences or something,
Oh,
or like
right.
I just to know that I'm engaged in listening, and then fucking everybody hates it, and then I hate myself, and it's bad for everybody. But also, yeah, and the doctor, you're like, you want to go in there and be like, listen, I'm a bit of a doctor myself. Even though it's like, no, you're not.
I've actually been inside a human body my whole life, and I know a little bit about
Listen, you're not just talking to your everyday Joe here. You know what I mean?
Every gay.
Yeah, well, I am kind of an everyday, but except for the having sex with my
You
body.
do have a tendency to try to complete people's sentences, and there's nothing
And I'm
funnier.
so sorry to everybody.
There's nothing funnier than when I'm trying to like get one out, and then you complete my sentence like 3 times in a row wrong.
Yeah, I know. That's why I just also like this podcast has been such a gift, well, a curse to me, but like a gift to others in my life, where I'm like, when we're watching it to like edit it or like find reels, and I'm like, shut up. Just shut up, please. Shut up, dude. You know, and I wish I could like watch game tape in real life and be like, let's wind that back. See at this engagement party where you had your maybe too many beers and you started talking to this person that clearly wasn't engaged.
Yeah, you're like, shut up
in the conversation. Yeah,
oh, that's so funny. That's so funny, dude. I have moments too where I'm like, I interrupt you or I interrupt a guest, and I'm like, damn it, I really did not let them cook. I had to just get my dumb thought. You could see when I like locked and loaded with my thought, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and wait until you're done talking. 3, 2, 1. Did you know that that's just a big tooth in the front of the narwhal? And they're like, we've been talking about anything but narwhals. Like, God.
Yeah. We're past narwhals, and you're like, I still got to go back. This is gold.
I can't. I have to tell you this.
Need to.
Yeah, it happens. Happy 4th to everyone who celebrated
4th.
a couple days ago. It's kind of a weird one. It's a weird 4th.
The flag
250th apparently.
Yeah.
The 250th anniversary of 1776, right? Which is
the beginning of the revolution.
That was like when we declared, but we didn't win that thing until like 1783 or 1784.
Yeah, right.
Like
no,
that's when Cornwall was like, God bloody damn it, I fucking give up.
So they're just like, yeah. So you're right. That's not the 250.
I know. I mean, it's when we started the war. But
I guess like, okay, if we started the war, and by declaring we're a country and fuck you, and then fought the whole time, and then they were like, see, that is true.
Yeah,
I guess that checks
I guess
out.
we were free the second when we started the war. But what?
That's
if you had
interesting,
lost
though.
the war, would we have been a country the whole time, or would it have just been a little rebellion?
No, that would have been a rebellion.
That had been quashed. Yeah.
It would have been quashed, and everyone would have been strucken from the fucking textbooks.
It's kind of a true history written by the victors. It's like, no,
100%.
We started when we say we fucking started.
Do you think if they squashed that by if they squashed that by 1780, do you think you and I would know the name George Washington right now?
Probably not. That's a really good point. Yeah.
You know?
Probably not.
I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably been revolutionary figures in this country that we
think about what we've
about.
talked about on half the pods already of like who writes the books, who's responsible for the money.
Yeah, you're so
You know what I
right.
mean?
If they had lost and we were like a commonwealth or something like that still, if we had a little
it would have been.
Union
They would have
Jack
been
up
like
in the corner instead of the stars.
They would have been like all these little crazy hillbilly colonists thought slavery was okay, so we went and we fought and we ended slavery, and it's England as one.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been that.
Yeah.
And they would have been, what about the Native Americans? They're like, what are you guys talking about?
Who the hell are those? Shut up.
Get out of here.
Yeah, dude, that shit's nuts. And you think about like just any alternative history, like say that rebellion had been quashed and the British had won that, then I don't think the French would have wanted to sell the British Louisiana, which is a massive part of the country.
True.
The Brits would have never been able to take the Louisiana colony by anything but force. So then there would have been a war like across the Mississippi with the French as the Brits basically pushed west. Then the Spanish, who were allied with the French during the Revolutionary War. It's like one of the reasons why the Brits lost is because they were so spread thin.
Well, and the French were funding the revolution for us too.
They were, and there was like a world war during that time. Essentially, the Brits were at war with France and Spain at the same time.
Because they had been for hundreds of years up to that point.
Yeah, but not Spain had jumped in. Spain was jumping in because of colonial interests and just kind of like,
I heard this thing
allied with France
on NPR at night. It was like a long thing the other day about like Spanish Florida.
Yeah,
and like how that was kind of stricken from the textbooks. Where like the 13 colonies was kind of like a farce in terms of like, or even like the Mayflower. Like there was people down there.
Those weren't the first. Yeah, Santa Fe, New Mexico, had been a town for like a generation by the time Plymouth Rock was even landed on.
Well, because it was Mexico.
Well, yeah, but no, it was like a Spanish colony of Santa Fe.
Really?
Yeah,
with like a mission. And
yeah. Like I'm just saying, like there were colonial interests in the New World or whatever.
But there was
the Spanish kind that were and our textbooks make it seem like these people on the Mayflower came over to a land that was like
just ripe for the taking.
Undiscovered.
Manifest destiny.
Yeah. And all this shit.
Well, the Spanish Florida thing they were talking about was like, it was through the lens of the fact that it was kind of like this like melting pot, like a multicultural, where like, I think the Spanish, they might have like left, and then it was just kind of doing its own thing with like different races, different ethnicities, kind of like apparently cohabiting. I don't know how, utopian it was per se,
Right.
but it was like, I'm talking like 1600s, I think.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe even like late 1500s. They were talking about like English people, Irish people, like, former slaves, natives, like people from the islands, Spanish, like, yeah.
And now Florida's regressed so goddamn much.
Now Florida's such a joke. Yeah.
They went from being like they're like Florida was one of the first liberal havens of coexistence, and now they're just like, we got a closeted gay mayor or governor, and you can't say global warming in the fucking government at all.
I mean, like, I feel like Florida used to be kind of be a fun joke. Like, let's say like 15 years ago.
Now
where it's like, you guys are a little bit crazy down there, but it's fun. And now it's like scary.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
even before that too, like I think in like the 80s and 90s, like not Miami, was like basically Cuba. Like it was like a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, and it was also like a sleepy kind of almost retirement town until cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then cocaine really woke everybody up.
Hey.
Everyone in Miami was like, let's stay up all fucking night, huh? What are you fucking don't retire? No one retires. Everyone fucking nose beers.
Get these old people out of here.
Get these old people out of here.
Skyscrapers and boats.
Everyone, we're driving mopeds and we're wearing shorts. And the old people were like, we want to party too.
We would also like this partying.
So 4th of July, sorry, we're still talking.
Do you think if you were 80 and you did coke, you would just die?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
I just thought of this when we were talking about like.
I feel like some drugs just kind of pickle you.
True, but like I'm not saying like you do coke every day until you're 80 because you won't be 80. But like, say you chilled out a little bit and you're middle age and you're like, I'm fucking 80. You're like, yeah, I'll do a line with you guys. Would you think we'd just be like squawk and just die?
I don't know. Maybe I don't. I want to. Yes, an 80-year-old man doing cocaine could die. Yeah, but like everyone.
Yeah, everyone could die,
doing
dude.
cocaine could die.
We almost died today. There was a power surge. The whole fucking thing was on fire down the block.
Yeah.
We could have died here.
Yep.
Not even 80, no coke.
No. So I guess you're answering your own question there, Matty.
Yeah.
You're like, could an 80-year-old doing cocaine die? It's like anyone could die at any moment for anything.
That's true.
Yep.
That's why you got to live your life.
Yeah.
Grab it with both hands and get out there and take what's yours.
That's why if you're an 80-year-old listener, do some cocaine. You could die, but you also could die from anything.
You know what I mean? That's a good run so far.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I'll get to that later.
Anyway, this is our 4th of July episode.
I know.
This isn't our 80-year-old cocaine episode.
No, but it is. Is it not with our president? Who knows?
I mean, that's a really good point. He is on the fucking
Something
like
some kind of speed.
I think he's on Adderall like crazy. I
but
think
like
that's
probably like Ritalin, something that's not new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some stimulant that
Like whatever kind of like because Adderall, they're all like amphetamine based, and like Hitler was on a ton of fucking meth based stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Some kind of amphetamines. Weren't all the kind of Third Reich?
Have you seen
soldiers?
the video of Hitler at the Olympics, just like absolutely
Grinding his teeth to
bobbing
dust?
back and forth, grinding, just like
Yeah.
I
I think all the German soldiers were like just given a ton of meth too to just like stay up for days.
They're still giving people in our government that kind of stuff.
I mean,
our military.
I think probably most presidents have at certain points had a like, hey, sir, we're going to give you a low boost of adrenaline right now. This is going to keep you up for 2 straight days, but we need you.
I was thinking about that, like just like thinking about sorry, we can't really disturb the president right now. It's night time.
Yeah. But now they're like, he's actually covered in shit. This is the time when we actually put him through the slow moving car wash and we have to scrub his body of all the parasites nightly.
You think there's like a person-sized car wash just for Trump every day? Mm-hmm. They get him up. He's like, he's covered in dookie again. He's like,
Front to back. Sir, the president's shit is back again. 10-4, get the machine ready.
Sir, the president's shit all the way up his back once again.
Yep, not like a newborn. Yep.
President needs a new diaper.
Yeah.
He fell asleep in his
diaper.
little fight a month ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah. The little UFC 250 celebration.
I've been so mad about
He's
that.
in the
Also,
front row.
interesting to see who showed up to that.
Oh, yeah. Very interesting. I know we're like a bit late there, but
I know.
turns out some clean comedians don't mind if they got a little blood on
Get their hands dirty a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Let's rip some families apart, but don't say darn, don't say damn,
No.
or fuck.
No, don't do that. That's not very Christian of
Couldn't
you.
possibly get away with saying fuck, but
He fell asleep at it, huh?
but why not imprison some kids because they were born in the wrong country?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And trying to just get over here instead real quick.
yeah,
Get them out of here.
Yeah, that fight was disgusting. I was watching.
I couldn't. I kind of had to check out because obviously there was so much in the news leading up to it.
All this 250 stuff is a bummer. Like all this, like it's just this ultra patriotic. I mean, it's fascism. It's jingoism. It's like, let's call it what it is. It's just it's wrapping like this shit pig and a fucking our stars and stripes. It's a bummer. I used to like the 4th of July. I used to like the American, like seeing an American flag. Like I used to enjoy being an American. I feel like there used to be a sense of pride, and now it's like been co-opted where it's like you see someone flying an American flag and you're like, oh, so you hate.
That's immediately anti-gay to me, or anti-trans or racist or something.
I see that, and it's like a symbol of like. Unfortunately, it means
it's kind of cringe to me now.
Well, if you're allying with our current government, it means you hate a good amount of people. There's a lot of hate going on
for no reason except for fear.
And this year has been like trying to as someone who wants to cheer for American sports. Like the Olympics happened. Usually the Olympics are happening every year. I was pulling for America. I loved the fact that we dominate the Olympics. It was just like when I was growing up, I was like, this is sick. It's like I get to cheer for a winning team for once.
Dude, I have stuff that I used to wear on 4th of July that I don't wear anymore.
No.
That I still have, hoping that we can get back around. But
one day see some beauty.
Dude, when Barrio was like, you could fly I could wear like American flag suspenders and American flag hat on 4th of July and not feel like I was a bad person.
Like you might storm a Capitol.
Yeah, or like that I think people should be deported, or I think people should have their rights stripped, or not be able to vote, or like not get married. Like it's just like sickening, and like that's why. Yeah, I don't know.
Like the World Cup happening right now, the U.S. team's good. Cheering for them. I want to cheer for them. But it's also something cringy about being like, USA, like, I hope we beat them damn Paraguayans. Like, you know what I mean?
As we're hosting them, the world, and we're like, oh, you guys actually, Iranians, you have to go to Canada for this.
You see the way that like some of the teams have been greeted when they like first land? Like Uruguay, they flew up here. Their base is in Mexico. They're doing their training camp in Mexico. They flew to Miami for their first game, and usually other countries greet the national team with like a band or some
respect
kind of like,
and dignity.
Yeah, some kind of like showing.
That's
of the
been out the
culture.
window for fucking
they all
years
got
now.
Searched dogs. They got searched.
Why Uruguay?
I don't know, because they're from.
Wait, was that the leader? One of the leaders we just deposed?
No. They're Uruguay's.
They just wanted to fuck with them because they're brown.
I think it's just they're a Latin American country. As soon as they got off the plane, they searched them. I think they did the same for Iraq, maybe. And then
detain, search. I think did somebody? I mean, I know that one referee got sent back from Somalia.
Eastern European team. I think Bosnia got immediately searched too. Just like people who, no idea. I mean, that referee wasn't allowed in the country.
There was some that were like kept for like a day, and there was one guy that I heard that couldn't even meet up with his team for like a day or two or some shit.
Iran was supposed to stay in the United States in Los Angeles for its training camp, and at the 11th hour, the United States pulled that and said, "No, we don't want you to do that." So now they're staying in Canada because Canada's like, "Okay, sure, we'll fucking take you." Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, somebody posted this thing that was like crazy, or I don't know where I read this, but it was like there was like Roman citizens that didn't know the empire had crumbled until like stuff in their town stopped getting fixed.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Because the Roman Empire was so massive, and like even within the center of Rome, so spread out.
So in that same vein, there are cities here that know the empire has crumbled, like Flint.
I mean, that was 20 fucking years, 30 years ago.
I don't know if their clean water is solved yet.
No, but the upside is more towns across the country every day are having theirs poisoned into trash.
Yes.
So I think not only has Flint not been solved, but the way we solve that is just poison everybody, and then nobody can do anything.
Wait, does Flint have water? When did Flint get their water back?
declares it safe, even though the mayor refuses to drink it on TV.
Yeah, I mean, AOC was showing the video of like what the water looked like, or it may have not have been AOC, but just some politician was showing the water in Georgia after a data center was there. And they're like, this is supposedly safe. And like the drinking water being supplied to the citizens is less clean than the water that the data center is getting or something like that. Yeah.
Well, I feel like none of this is really... some of these evil corporations that have been doing this for like centuries have got to be so mad about... I mean, mad and glad at the same time about iPhones, connectivity, like how much we're able to talk and like report stuff. But at the same time, the phones are rotting our brains and turning us into maybe potential like dumb slaves for them in the next couple of generations. So maybe the juice is worth the squeeze on that one, where they're like, yeah, we'll get caught for some stuff for a while, but then we'll control everything, including what goes to their phones individually. And no one will.
The juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that one?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's just like a kind of like they're just like, well, let just break the mold. They'll get used to it.
Yeah.
They'll get used to it.
4th of July. This got dark, and now I'm sad.
4th of July. USA. I mean, I like fireworks. I do. How many videos of fireworks do you have on your phone?
Oh, I mean, a bunch. like that and sunsets is probably fucking 11 gigs.
I feel like I get dinked up, look at fireworks, and I'm just like, I gotta remember this. And then I'm like taking a video of it, and then 3 days later, it's just like a full scroll, like 4 scrolls of just the night sky with like streaking lights. And I'm like, why me on 4 high noons that I think I wanted to take pictures of the grand finale?
And it was like that meant your phone was out for minutes. Like, this one's good. This one's good. Instead of just being like, sick, dude.
Instead of like sitting there and being like, nice fireworks, I was like, I'm going to show everybody that I actually saw fireworks.
What if I see someone tomorrow who's never seen fireworks?
Pictures of concerts, pictures of sunsets, pictures of fireworks, pictures of like the stars. The other day, someone tried to be like, dude, look how many stars were in the night sky the other day. And I was like,
that is kind of, if you can get
like an iPhone photo, I was like, yeah, that doesn't,
I've gotten some good star pics. If the stars are clear enough and you do a long enough exposure and you can capture
I've seen yours in Lake Michigan.
Thank you, babe.
And you've done it right.
Yep.
But this person like just was like,
slurp.
And they're like, proof right here.
And there's like a leaf in the foreground that the flash hit first. And you're like, I fucking never show me anything again. You're not allowed to show me stuff anymore.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. I mean, I do love fireworks. What do you think's the best thing to watch, the best substance to be on when you're watching fireworks?
Ooh, watching or lighting them?
Well, I'm not a fan of lighting them ever.
Okay.
I want my hands. I'm not down to that. I don't want
the best drug for fireworks could be.
You're not allowed to light fireworks either, dude.
The Percocets you use after you blow one of your fucking thumbs off. If you're on drugs when you do it.
Yeah. See, you saying stuff like that, you're banned from fireworks.
It's so funny.
Do you light them off?
Growing up, I mean sometimes, but I also have like an immense respect and fear for them.
Yeah.
Because there is like a remarkable power to kill you with them.
Why don't you have that same respect and fear for knives or things that are on fire?
I do, but it's only through getting burned and cut. I have like 2 cuts. This was like yesterday on the beach. They're like we were down there, and I like was like doing stuff with some driftwood. Okay, I was moving it, and I come back and sit down, and like there was just like blood gushing. She's like, "Are you bleeding already?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "And right there." I was like, yeah. I'm like, she's like, you're gone for like 10 minutes. I'm like, well, it wasn't at the same time. I wasn't like, I was too different.
You're a damn toddler sometimes.
Well, I just move quickly and with intention. And
clumsily,
I guess.
And then you bleed like a stuffed
I wouldn't
pig.
say it's clumsily. It's like with reckless abandon. You know what I mean? And also it's like with this ADHD thing where like my path is clear in my brain. And if something happens or I miscalculated it, I'm still going 120 miles an hour through it. So I will cut myself many. Like as soon as like Memorial Day hits every year since I was like a boy, my legs are just covered in scabs like until Thanksgiving.
And you're scraped and scraped up.
Just the whole summer.
Didn't you used to have a raccoon hat?
No. I mean, I wish I did though. I always wanted one real bad.
I don't know why.
Desperately wanted one.
I can like picture Matty is just like the type of kid who's like, I'm not taking off my raccoon.
I had like a scrappy one that was like not you couldn't wear it because it would. I don't know if it was like an uncle's or something.
Yeah.
But I always wanted one desperately. But the only ones they ever had in stores were like real shitty and dumb looking.
Yeah.
And like I wanted one that was like maybe rabbit fur with a raccoon tail.
Oh, so you had an expensive.
I wanted
taste.
one like that.
You're
yeah.
like, I want a real trapper's hat, Papa.
Please, Papa.
Please, Papa.
The coarseness of this artificial fiber, I simply will not do.
I have to say that. All right. Well, I'm gonna answer my own damn question because you made your little Percocet joke.
Ooh. Okay. Sorry. The drugs or substances. I don't know. Maybe just weed. I feel like if it's mushrooms, I start worrying about how much litter the fireworks are doing into the wherever you're blasting them.
I have to say I was on mushrooms once for a big 4th of July
Was it
where
awesome?
we tripped really hard. We were walking. It was like in high school, so it was like before we knew how to do mushrooms. So we ate like
Too
an
much.
eighth
Yes.
each, and then like all of us threw up and saw God and like had a really intense trip. And then like we're walking back, kind of like drained. It's like pouring rain. We're like running through the rain. It's super fun. Then we find this like flag that had been like blown off by the storm. This like American flag. We found the American flag. We're like running with the American flag, like just having a great time. Then it stops raining. Then all the fireworks go off.
It felt like you guys you're like, we just crossed the Delaware, dude.
Yeah, I like truly felt like I was living in like a Levi's commercial that day.
Yeah. Pioneers, oh pioneers. It's us, boys.
And then someone posted that the flag was like in the road, and so then because it got blown off in the storm,
we are troops now. We're the troops.
But then someone, like one of our friends who went to high school, was like, someone stole my grandpa's World War II flag from our, and we were like,
Your grandpa's an idiot and he sucks at knots. And we saved it, actually. You fucking
we were
asshole.
like, that was us, and we like anonymously left it on their front porch.
Did you fold it into a triangle?
I don't think any of us did that. No, we just kind of folded it, and we were like,
One of us kind of peed on it a little bit, but
no. We felt bad, but it was like in the gutter, and then we were like, sick American flag, let's fucking go. And then I think when we brought it back, we were like, whoa, this is a nice flag. And I think it was like,
what was it? Was it like a hand stitched by fucking Betsy
it
Ross's
wasn't like
daughter?
it wasn't some thing you bought from Jewel.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
This thing had some weight to it,
It
some
was
gravity.
like canvas and stuff. Yeah. The stars.
His grandfather planted that on a beach and then took it home with him.
Yeah. There was blood all over it also.
Nice. Well, that was from you guys,
From
probably.
the enemies. Yeah, from us, because we squipped our knees.
We did some squips and squapes.
We squipped our knees during the 400-year flood. Yeah, it was like a big flood. I remember like the river like flooded. Then the fireworks go off. It was like that petrichor smell was hitting.
Dude, it's
man, I love
found out
petrichor.
recently. I don't know how recently. We have taped a podcast since I've known this. I
Can
have
we
talked
pause
about
one
it.
second?
Yeah.
Petrichor is the smell that you smell after rain.
Mm-hmm.
That musty.
It's not musty. It's
Amazing
earthen. It's
earthen,
like it smells fresh and earthy.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell musty, but I know what along those lines.
That's the word for it. Yeah,
So-
must is my lack of vocabulary. I can't really explain what it smells like.
I found out recently that humans, our ability and our affinity to smell. So our ability to smell and our affinity for the smell of petrichor is uncanny compared to other animals, and also uncanny when you compare our sense of smell to other animals. We're like, they said it was like smelling like a hair in a haystack, or like a dog sense of smell, but for petrichor. And it's like one of the reasons our species, because it's like,
So it's another way you're saying is our nose is designed to smell that. In a way?
yeah, for like the survival of our species,
because it's a way to identify that there's fertile land.
exactly
here.
fertile land and like planted land, and like the smell of fresh cut grass.
So that's something we've probably evolved to develop since the agricultural revolution.
Probably before, and we just didn't know that's why we were smelling it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think that's something for it to be this heightened. I don't even think you could develop in 100,000 years. It was like something like 50 to 1, or like
Really?
like
That's
being able to
fascinating.
smell like a hair a mile away or something, like
Yeah.
a single hair. Like that's how good we are at smelling it.
Yeah.
And we can't smell like I don't think anything else that strong. Or I don't know. Again, this is where I get a little confused because I was so fascinated and I had to hold on to this fact. But yeah, and like the fresh cut grass thing, that it's like fresh cut grass. That's because if we smell that from a distance, like a herd of grazing animals had just gone through somewhere and basically mowed a whole field of grass.
And we were like, okay.
Oh, so there's a herd nearby.
There's
We can get a couple to get some food. Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about it on the pod before. It's like our humanity's like superpower. Obviously our brains,
Endurance.
but it's our endurance. Yeah. Like
But the brains actually fuck endurance. It's brains.
Yeah, it's brains.
Yeah.
It's brains and thumbs. But then third place is our ability to run for a really long time.
Yeah.
Other animals don't really like know how to like barometer themselves and do anything but run 100 miles an hour. And our ability, which probably comes from brains, to just be like, we'll just keep running at like a nice 60% and track them.
Well, I was going to say also with brains specifically.
Brains.
Because because they are so much faster. And our ability to track, like, you ever see someone who's like actually good at animal tracking and can read a forest? Like,
I feel like every time I look at someone like that, I'm like, all right, liar.
I'm like, raise me.
Yeah.
Adopt me.
Raise me.
Please, I love
I'm
you.
nearly 40. I need raising.
I need a papa now.
Raise me.
I'm finally old enough for a father now. Please. Yeah, no, it's like incredible. And like the ones that are the best at it, like it's more like almost inherent because their grandfathers were trackers or something,
Right,
you know, like,
right.
and they can look at a single like, you know, twig and be like that way.
Yeah.
So it's the brains, endurance. I'll give you endurance.
Brains, thumbs, endurance.
Gossip.
In that order.
And gossip.
Oh, and not to mention
Gossip.
Yep.
Okay, honey. Don't forget about the tea, bitch.
One of your first fucking smut theories that you peddled.
It's our first episode ever.
Yeah.
And I got so dragged
Canadian
immediately.
smoked your ass. He's like, no fucking way.
Are you sure it wasn't thumbs? Yeah, Kyle, it was. You're right. I'm sorry.
What's your like favorite past fourth? I'd say mine was that in high school, I think after senior year, us tripping, running through the rain. That was amazing. That's probably the best 4th of July I've ever had.
That sounds so amazing. It feels like I was kind of almost there for a second because it sounded so glorious and perfect, and like the youthful freedom of being that young, and also like when you're that young and on mushrooms, like even if you get scared for a second, it's not the kind of weight that comes with the anxiety. If a mushroom trip is coupled with anxiety and you're like 30s, there's like real world stuff. There's rent and bills. When you're like 17, there's none of that. So you're just like, everything is here for us and we're all going to live forever.
A lot of my anxiety as a kid came from the wonder and the like, holy shit, what am I going to be? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the times that I did mushrooms in high school and college and the times I had a bad introspective time, it was like, what does the future hold for me? Like now I feel like I'm in like a really good place. I feel like I know at least what I want out of my future. Back then, you didn't even know what you wanted. Yeah, right. I'm super happy. But also, in the flip side of that, like, do I want a trip right now? Like, because I'm in such a good space. Like, if I have a big trip and
is it going to take me to a dark place?
Head, like, societally opened up, or there's something else. There's always room for anxiety in a brain that isn't. No offense, like, or not trying to sound like. Tooting my own horn. I'm not dumb, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And I feel like people that aren't dumb are the ones who are anxious and like usually miserable.
Yes, of course.
And then if I do, like I've been gifted some things from some like basically someone gave me mushrooms after a show from like a church. They're like a church of mushrooms in Washington.
Nice.
And I'm like, these look great. And I think I could like take a few of them and have like one of those trips. You know what I mean? Where you're like, going for it, but
totally.
I'm scared. I don't know if I really want.
Well, it's also got to be set and setting. You can't like do that at a concert or do that where like a concert lets out and now you're in Chicago and you're like, well, this is not what I was ready for.
No, I'm thinking of doing it like on like a long
solo
beach,
or something.
A beach day in Chicago.
Okay,
just like getting my bike and like. Yeah,
I would say go to a woods or a cabin where you like at no point will you have to navigate like a train that's going by.
That's the thing about the woods cabin that like I'm lucky enough to have access to. It's amazing, but there is potential interaction with my significant other's parents.
That one's weird.
I couldn't think of anything they're awesome, but your girlfriend's parents, while you're like really going for it.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on?
So like make sure that the schedules are such that they're not there.
Hey, Larry.
You guys also looking at the moon right now?
It's
crazy.
It's daytime, Chris.
Moon's so crazy. It's not even night. You see it? What's it doing? Go to bed, moon.
You're a good actor.
Dang it. And the whole time you're actively pissing.
Is he pissing his pants? Did you piss your pants?
Don't worry about that. We're talking about the moon.
Yeah, he's not actually pissing his pants. He's acting.
No, he's crying through his penis right now. He's so scared about the moon.
That's not piss. Those are dick tears.
The boy's scared. Can't you see?
Next time I accidentally fucking piss my pants in public. You piss your pants? No, I'm fucking sad.
Grow up.
Yeah. I'm expressing myself emotionally.
You don't get sad.
You don't have dick tears?
Okay. okay, dude.
You fucking idiot.
You'll get it, dude.
Uncultured swine.
Once you deal with trauma and grief and loss, maybe call me back when your pants
Maybe
are always
watch
dry.
a movie where there's a bunch of fucking fronds on the top. What are those things that they put on the outside of the awards?
Oh, yeah. You could put those on any movie cover and be like, this won a lot of awards.
I know. Those little symbols that just kind of make you think, you're like, wow, this thing might be in
Are they
French.
like olive branches?
Olive leaves.
Olive
that's it.
leaves?
Yep.
They look like it.
Olive wreaths.
Well, it's not a wreath because it's not a circle. You know what I mean?
It's a broken wreath.
Yeah. What is that? A broken wreath. Well, it's because all artists are broken and we chose a thing that might
It's called
not
a
pay off.
laurel wreath. Oh, because it's like
Laurel.
winning laurels. Laurels is name
Like a
for
laureate.
an award, a laurel. So I've been watching the World Cup a lot, obviously. Pretty much
You
like
have?
every game I
No
can.
way, dude.
Yeah. And there's one thing that I have noticed that I think is really funny is like the audience, when they cut to the audience, 8 times out of 10, it's an extremely attractive woman in one of the jerseys of one of the teams.
Sure.
Which gets me thinking, like, there must be someone whose job it is at the World Cup to just fucking look.
Like a professional pervert.
Yeah, dude. Like some guy who's been given some kind of sort of vantage point, and he's just like some kind of cleavage hunter. And
I mean,
he's just like on his binoculars, like, oh yeah,
it's definitely
really hot girl right there. Everybody, I've got the crowd shot for you. Don't worry.
It's the only way Pepe Le Pew can still work.
Yeah, super booby boobs over there, everybody.
Okay. This is
Yeah. Like the pictures, every picture I see of fans in the World Cup,
okay,
they're
so
like,
you're also not alone. If this is going viral on Instagram right now,
no, of course. But
Yeah, you're
that's
not
like-
alone in this.
That's
Okay.
like the 40th. Like
I was just going with this guy. I have not been watching as much World Cup, I think, as you.
I've been watching the World Cup for decades now.
Yeah.
And I think I noticed this in the one in South Africa. You know, when I was in high school, I was like, every shot is just boobs.
When you're in high school, if you see a girl, you're like, cool.
The rare woman.
But no, this is
incredible.
I think it might not. But and
No,
no, they
I
just
truly
cut.
think-
But so they do it on TV, not just on the.
It's only on the TV cuts. They just like, I feel like in American sports, they cut to like families or sports or some freak who's dressed like Darth Vader, but cheers for the
like the Oakland Raiders guy that spends his life.
Yeah, or like a block of cheese or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, cool.
They're like, that's actually real cheese. That was 300 pounds.
In FIFA, it just feels like almost every time they're cutting to just like, check it out, fellow perverts.
I mean, I feel like a pervert right now, but are they twins? What's going on here?
I mean, well, what are you talking about? The girls or the
The girl, this picture that's going viral. Well, I know that. Well, hello. Yep.
Yes, they are twins.
From
Every
what country?
single one of them is twins.
Is it Zambia? Is it maybe it?
No, they're from
Namibia
Côte
and Zambia.
d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Those two sets of two are from Côte d'Ivoire.
And they just cut to that, and the announcers are like,
It's
"Look
a
at all
boy
these."
podcast now. Lucia
Yeah,
would
we're
be-
sorry.
Lucia would be sickened by
If
this.
there's any lady fans that are still stuck around, thank you so much, and we are so sorry. And please, I promise we are better than this, and we are trying every day to be better.
I'm not saying that
strong
I'm
men.
better than this. It's just something I've noticed.
That's true. I mean, that is ridiculous. And the announcers are like, look at these exuberant, bouncing
A
fans.
couple
today.
exuberant, bouncy fans in the audience here tonight, Steve.
Steve, tonight the crowd is absolutely glistening for their team. It's like, because they all know, dude.
Glistening is such a funny. and there was like a video. There was that U.S. fan who glistening makes me think of. There's a picture of like a U.S. fan. And it was just like they posed her. I feel like they just were like got a model. They're like put on this star spangled bikini and then
just threw it in the stands.
yeah. I don't know. I
Probably.
don't know. All right. Well, so. Anyway, I kind of got distracted talking about the World War II stuff, or World War II World Cup stuff.
You always get distracted.
So I
talking
got
about soccer
distracted talking about the World Cup
passion
stuff.
with when soccer gets brought up, the way you ignite and the passion and just also like when we were talking about it the other day when we were doing our like draft picks. You could be a sportscaster.
Oh man!
So yeah, but I'm not surprised that soccer came up, and then this one became 3 hours of soccer.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I know nothing, so I just kind of like to let you cook. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I got distracted. You were supposed 4th of July. So what's your favorite 4th or most memorable 4th of July?
Yeah, I was like in high school. I think I was like a junior. We were up in Michigan drinking, and we were like my cousins that we stay with. They had a cousin like a mile down the beach that they also had like a similar, multi-family little compound of cabins. And me and my sister and cousins were like partying down there, and they were also like in high school and in college. And, we're kids, so we get drunk as skunks. And like one of the cousins is like, our neighbors yesterday, I think they left, but they had like this beach shack like full of fireworks. And I was a real rascal as a teen, So I was like, I'll go fucking check right now.
Yeah.
So like I go into this little like storage thing, which I'd never seen there before. I'd never seen again, but tons of fireworks in there and a 12-pack of Heineken. And I would think I was like 17, maybe 16. And so I steal a 12-pack of Heineken and like as much fireworks as I could carry, including like one of those like 2 feet by like a big boy.
A rocket?
I was like scared of even looking at it. I was like, this thing's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it was like a thing that does like 40 guys.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Okay. All right.
And so we're like lighting them off, and I'm drinking these beers, and they had said these dudes had left. And then like 2 of these dudes come down on the beach. It's like probably like, I don't know, 11 or 12 at night.
Oh God.
And we're like, oh shit. And they're like adults, and we are teens. And there's a couple cousins that are in college and are big, but like, I'm like, oh fuck. I straight up just accidentally, on purpose robbed these guys, but I thought they were gone and left all their stuff.
Right. You didn't think you'd get caught.
That's what happened. I was a kid.
Your guilt came from, oh God, I'm going to get caught.
Yeah,
probably.
I was a teen and I was drunk, and also just like I was the kind of teen like we would like sneak into concerts, and like we were always, and like also getting like pinched by Chicago cops in high school, and like so there was always something where we just always had an angle and always looking for I don't know, some kind of sneak,
right.
Little rats. We were rats.
Yeah.
Me personally and my friends. I'm not talking about anyone else involved in this story, but so they come over and I'm like, oh fuck, and they were like, they had thick accents, and I started talking to them, and they were from Poland, I think lived in Chicago, and we're like renting this place, and I was like, and they were like kind of big, and I was like, they were also drunk, turns out, and they just like wanted to hang, and I was the whole time scared because I was like, I just became Polish. Whole time scared.
I heard that immediately. I was whole time scared.
Whole time scared. You know the type.
Why did you just immediately start
whole time scared of me?
Just tell,
yes,
tell the entire story in a Polish accent.
Whole time scared, very much so.
Big Polish guy. I steal firework. Beer times.
I steal bang bangs. I get very scared. I became French. See, that's why I can't stick to accents. Anyways, so we're just like kind of vibing, and I'm like, I finish off the few fireworks, and I'm like, they're still hanging, and I'm like, do you guys want a beer? They're like, sure. And I'm like, give them a Heineken, and I just fucking and then
flying pretty close to the sun there, man.
And then finally we're like hanging. I'm like, all right, I think these guys are cool. I think I might be able to get away with this.
Dumb.
Yeah.
You think they're dumb is what you thought.
As an Irishman, like growing up on the South Side, we weren't raised to think the most highly of the
intellectual capabilities,
the Polish population,
Right.
But that being said, I think, like I've said for years, we need to bring back white on white racism.
Agreed.
And I think it's funny and no one gets hurt. And
that's why we have Lucia on all the time too. We hate on Polish people, but one of our favorite guests is damn Polish.
Yeah, but Lucia Whalen doesn't read Polish.
Lucia.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm like, you know what? I'm also a drunk child, and I think these guys are pretty cool at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I got one more firework left. And I go up by the bluff and like grab this fucking monster daddy.
The one of a kind firework.
It's huge. It's like 18 inches. It's like a foot and a half by a foot and a half.
Right,
and it's got like 50 holes in it.
A
You know what I mean?
sculpture, essentially.
Yeah.
You grab a pinata.
Yeah. And it's like you point it up and it does a party for like 6 minutes, And I don't know how to say this diplomatically. I'll just say it like this.
It does a party for 6 minutes. Yeah.
I go up and grab this thing and I bring it back to the squad. And, I'll say this. Like my preconceptions it turned out to be pretty on the nose on this one.
Right.
I bring it down and they go, oh, cool. We've got one just like this. And I was like, no way, dude.
It's pretty crazy. You have like the same taste as us. Like, we also like Heineken. You got all this Heineken. We also have Heineken.
That's what we're brothers, dude. Welcome to America, dude.
Then you also like crazy big cool fireworks. We bought the same one.
And I was like, do you guys stop in Indiana? They're like, yeah. I'm like, me too, dude. It's the only place that sells fireworks.
Yeah.
So I just pretty bold, you know.
Very bold. You
and
gave them their beer.
Yeah. And then like was like, surprise, this is my treat for you. And they're like, this guy's awesome. He's got the same one as us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's give her a rip. And we blew the whole fucking thing off. And I was like, okay, like I should probably leave pretty soon before they like go look in their shed.
Well, let's go get ours too. Wow, that one was cool. Let's do it one more time because we can actually.
I'm like, hey, I'm a drunk idiot, but I also don't want to get my fucking beat to death
You
by
don't want to get
two Polish fellas on the beach. You know what I mean? And so shortly thereafter, you know, I was like, I gotta go. So I'm like, I'm just gonna walk home on the beach the whole way, which is like a long walk, and I'm hammered and I'm a child. So I like go up what I think is like the stairs that go up to our cabin, and it's not. And there's like a bunch of if you believe it or not, there's some serious blackouts segments of this evening, starting like from the stairs I went up to me getting to a road. So it was not our stairs.
Right.
So now I'm like on a road where cars are going kind of fast, and it's like maybe like a one lane on each side, like road where you can go 50. And I'm just like walking, and like again, like I have what I'm holding is the remainder of the 12 pack of Heineken. It's got like a few Frosties in it, and I also have like a glass pipe and like a little jar of weed in my pocket. And I think I was wearing a Fish t-shirt. Okay, my hair is long and shaggy. 90% chance I had a 1-inch thick hemp necklace on. You know, just to give you a painting, and I'm so sorry.
Also, I'm so sorry about who I was.
And so then I started hitchhiking, and then it didn't work. And I was like,
and the cop was like, I'll give you a ride, young man.
Yeah, a cop just fucking flies up on me and just goes, Erp! And then like stops right next to me. Like he went from 50 to 0, and I didn't know brakes could do this. And I just like look, and I was also wearing Birkenstocks with no backs. I just look at him, and I just tear up this hill into the woods. And I like drop the beer, and I'm just like running, and both my sandals fall off. And now I'm like running. As soon as I take like 5 steps in the woods and find out it is woods, but it's also a swamp. It's not ground.
Right.
So like I fall face first, like all the way submerged into this like thick black water.
Fucking
and I'm just
quicksand.
Like tearing through it, and like I'm on logs. I'm trying to jump, and I like never look back once. And I finally get out the other side of it, and I'm like looking around, and I lost the guy, and I'm like, hell yeah. And I am like on some gravel fucking like path, and I look down, like my toe kind of hurts, right? And also again, I am head to toe. More than once, I've fallen fully over my head in like thick black swamp water, right? And I'm like, my adrenaline's pumping. I'm a drunk child, and I'm on this fucking gravel road.
Drunk child.
And I'm like, my toe fucking kind of hurts, and I look at my toe, and it's like. It's like a Pez dispenser. Yeah. My big toe.
It's like off. Yeah.
It's like half off. It's like a cut from the base going in, and it's like packed with swamp mud.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no, it's so bad.
You know what? I love the hold on, sorry to pause.
Yeah.
I love the image of the cop pulled up on you, and he was probably just gonna be like, excuse me, young man, would you like a ride home? And you just were like, just like went from 0 to 60, ran through a swamp onto the other side of a fort. I bet that cop heard everything you did. Just
like, splash,
he
splash,
probably just sat there with his flashlight on you.
Daddy, please!
As you tortured yourself running from him. He probably was like, fucking love it when the hippies run. This shit's so goddamn good. Look, he's like, we can just roll up on these damn fish heads and they will fucking scram through the swamp.
That's a good place to do it, because the swamp fucks you up worse than a forest. I'll tell you that right now.
Dude, that's... And so you swamp toed yourself.
Bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get back to the cabin.
Yeah.
Me and my sister are sharing a room. We both have a twin bed in this room, right? I take everything off except my boxers, soaking wet with swamp mud, and just wrap my toe in a ton of toilet paper and just hang it off the bed and just pass out. She wakes me up a couple hours later, and she's like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
There was like a pool of blood on the floor, and like the whole bed was full of blood. And then my dad's like, well, we got to go to Chicago, so we'll fucking get in the car.
Yeah.
And then my parents had just separated, and he takes me home, and he walks me, and he goes, by the way, the boy hurt his toe. And my mom goes, okay. She's like, let me see it. And I show her. She goes, "Are you fucking kidding me? Hurt his toe? You didn't take him to the hospital?" I was like, "I told you we probably should have gone." And then I went straight to the hospital. I was there for 2 days.
By the way, this damn hippie swamp toad himself. You were there for 2 days?
Yeah, because they couldn't stitch it. It was so packed with swamp mud. And they like kept trying to clean it. And they kept trying to clean it and it just hurts so bad, dude. They were going there with like little metal probes and picking shit out and they kept x-raying it. And there was still stuff in there. So they're like, the combination of the fact that I waited so long to go in and that it had been full of so much like foreign debris.
Yeah.
They're like, you just have to treat this like.
I feel like this is a problem of yours. You've done this multiple times. All right, one story of Matty's was that he just cut his finger badly, wrapped it real tight, nearly killed the tip of his finger.
But didn't, and it's fine.
But didn't, and it's fine. Another time, a bug flew into your eye. You couldn't get it out, so you just went to bed with a bug in your eye.
I was like 8, and I was like, okay.
And then woke up, and the bug was like
on my face. No, it was like right here. And it happened sometime in a weird point where my mom saw me, and then I like went in the other room, and I came back, and then it had appeared.
You have a strange habit of just being like, I can sleep this
I'm
off.
gonna sleep this off, dude. This will be fine. This will be good tomorrow.
Nothing a little nap can't fix.
See, the amount of times I have gone to bed and like done what I think is a pretty good job, not including the toe one. The toe, I learned a lot of lessons, and I have also injured myself.
No, you didn't.
Well, after that, because I had to do wound treatment every day, like a doctor, for like 2 months because I had to slowly heal from the inside out.
You learned how to treat all of your future wounds.
Yeah, the amount of vacations I've ruined by not being able to go in water because of the wound that I've given myself is bananas. Like, it sucks.
Accidentally fell through this roof in Thailand.
Exotic locales. No, that one I kept partying and had a fracture in my leg when I got back. I told you that.
Yeah.
But after Smitty's wedding, when I got the stitches, luckily we had gone snorkeling the day before.
That story stinks.
With the rebar on the shin.
Oh.
And then like 3 days later, I was in this Vietnamese town that was flooding, and I was like up to my waist in flood water.
God damn it.
With the wound pretty open.
What's with you and open wounds and swamp situations?
I mean, I think that's why like my immune system is. That's why I'm either always sick or like never really that sick.
Yeah,
you know,
bugs don't bite you because you're just full.
They're like you,
full of bogs.
Like, what the fuck is that, dude?
Oh, dude, I think I just fucking ate a bog. That was disgusting.
It just like blew a snot bubble up my nose.
Every mosquito that lands on Matty's like, God, dude. Oh my God. This guy is fucking mostly swamp.
Christ, dude. We just left that.
Do you know the difference between a swamp and a bog?
No, but the Viagra Boys have a lyric in one of their songs that's like, between the swamp and an ancient bog.
In a bog, you will pickle. In a swamp, you would decompose. Or is it opposite? In a swamp, you would...
No, a bog, you would, I think, pickle.
This is what the Viagra Boys want. They want us to be debating this kind of stuff.
Well, like a bog, okay, if we're talking like bogs, if we're talking like an Irish bog, right? Like bogs in Ireland.
Bogs are spongy, acidic peatlands fed only by rainwater, while swamps are nutrient-rich forest wetlands fed by flowing bodies of water. Like, so swamps are clean and bogs are... Ugh.
Well, bogs also don't move anywhere. Like the old bogs in Ireland where you get like the bricks of peat out of.
Right, so a bog you would pickle, in a swamp you would decompose.
Yeah, you would because a swamp it's your water and it's not like... I wonder how acidic and how cold it is. But if there's any stream or river running through the swamp, you're eventually gonna fucking decompose.
Yeah, I think so. And
your bones will return to whence they came.
Dude, I really like what we were talking about earlier about if England had quelled the rebellion in 1780, like the alternative history timeline. The way the country is broken up would be so much different.
I never thought about that until
right now.
Until we talked about it earlier.
I think there'd be a higher amount of Spanish and French. There'd be way more French-speaking people here. I'm just saying, I do not think the Louisiana Purchase would have happened. That would have at least not have been a bloodless exchange like it was when the United States bought Louisiana from the French.
Right.
I think there's no way the French would have sold that to the British if they had won that, especially after sponsoring the American Revolution and losing.
Yep.
I think Louisiana all the way to Colorado, that whole section all the way to the northern Canadian border would be different.
Well, Mexico would be all of like California too.
Yes,
for
California and Texas would be something
Mexico.
else. Oregon might and Washington might be part of
It'd be Canada.
Canada. It just that really bit something, and I wish I could just regurgitate perfectly the historical consequences of that. But that like really fascinated me really quickly.
I'm sure
I would love to read something. If there's someone, if someone smarter than me has written something about.
There's historical fiction that of this author that I just found that I meant to send you the first page of this book I got of his.
Yeah.
Written by one of his friends. But it was like it sounded like an old school. He was just so angry for a whole train ride.
Yeah.
And it was written so hilariously, but he wrote a bunch of historical fiction. I'm like gonna find his name right now. It's he wrote this book called Arundel. He's from like Connecticut.
Oh,
Maine.
you mentioned Arundel on the Will Matty Read This, and we made fun of you
Because it's
See?
frozen.
because it's
There you guys
actually
go.
frozen. You've done it again.
No, it's the same guy though. But this is his name is Kenneth Roberts, and he was like
And he wrote Frozen.
he wrote Frozen. It's Walt Disney.
God, it would be so funny
Oh, Kennebunk, Maine.
if Matty just multiple
Kennebunkport.
episodes like, have you seen Frozen?
Welcome back to the Frozen Pod. What's else up to today?
So this, of course, relates back to my favorite movie, Frozen.
Okay.
if Matty,
again, I think.
if Matty was super, if he was the same exact guy, like a sophisticated, he liked fucking nice things, he has good taste, but his favorite movie and kind of the only movie he ever talked about was Frozen.
I'm like, oh, dude, that sounds like such a good one. It reminds me of this movie I really like. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Frozen. It's really good. I mean, it's like about two sisters, but really it's about yourself. The soundtrack's pretty good.
Just an adult man who's just like, you know, you're funny. You kind of remind me of Olaf. God, that's so
This is
funny.
a really
to me.
cute dog. What's his name? It reminds me of this reindeer I know. Doesn't talk much, does he? No.
Just super normal, like
Otherwise, but like
smokes weed, has other passions, but talks about Frozen maybe 15 times a day.
and like when people start to get close enough and it never stops, like
Yeah.
they finally ask someone else who's been closer longer. They're like, so
When
okay,
did
yeah.
you change into this Frozen?
They're just this is the thing. It's
Oh,
this
man.
weird quirk. You gotta
I think
get over
that
it.
is where we're going to end things for this week's
Nice.
episode. I think that also is proof to the listener that sometimes one of the funnier things happens at the very end.
That's true.
So stick around for the full hour.
And sometimes we don't even get some of our things. We're just talking, have a good time.
Yeah.
Favorite animal? We'll
Yeah.
do that for next week.
Next week. Thank you for watching the Buddy
Hey.
System podcast. I've been Chris.
I've been Matty, and we love you guys.
Yeah, please be sure to follow and subscribe on all streaming platforms. We're featured on Spotify and YouTube. That's the best places to watch it. You can
Good.
listen on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and everywhere you pod your casts, baby.
And all those links can be found on our Instagram page, Buddy System Pod, where you can also join our Patreon and get early access to episodes, bonus content, and direct access through our Discord channel.
Which is thriving.
It is.
New episodes every Tuesday.
I can't even look you guys in the eyes as I say Discord right now, but
Yeah.
I will learn how to.
Sorry, we've been lying to you for over 6 months about the Discord channel.
Not just to you, to ourselves too. We're lying. It's going all over. The
Thank you,
lies.
guys. Love you,
guys.
buddies.
Mwah.
See you next week.
Bye. Well, there's not actually any incest in my family.
I feel like the only thing